This
Hi.
is Kashmir.
And this is Minnow.
And we are SavaniSis, here to activate your Sukha, your inner joy. And today we're going to talk about what is true spirituality and how do you know if someone has reached high levels of spiritual growth and enlightenment. Stay tuned.
Okay, so Minnow, we were talking about this. There's a lot of discernment and distinguishing that we need between who is truly enlightened, who is truly being spiritual, who is truly a highly evolved being, compared to the people that say on the surface level that, oh, I'm so spiritual because I'm into positive thinking, let's say, or I'm into the law of attraction, right?
Gosh.
There are so many different people. You have like clairvoyants, you have crystal ball readers, you have people that are into their crystals, you have people that...
Ooh, so spiritual.
You have people that are into their hippie movements and their make love not war and love and light things. You have people that are very much into the law of attraction as well, which is fine. They like to manifest their desires and they talk about this all day long. But are they truly being spiritual? Because there is a difference, guys. There is a distinction between the two.
Because when you talk about spirituality, there is hundreds of layers of it.
Yeah.
People think, oh, it's positive thinking, being grateful. Oh, I practice the law of attraction. I'm a spiritual being. I understand everything is energy, so that makes me spiritual. But actually, it's way deeper than that. Do you know those kind of people who have developed yogic powers so they can do certain things, like they can levitate,
skills. Yeah,
they can walk on water, they can be in two places at once? We think, wow, they're so spiritual.
because they have these miraculous, supernatural, superhuman powers. All they've done is just developed skills. They are skills that is alive and inherent in every single human being on planet Earth, whether you're spiritual or not. Actually, you can develop these abilities, but it actually doesn't truly make you a highly evolved being.
Because what happens is a lot of these people like to show their skills and to everybody else. Look what I can do. I can levitate. What's the point of that? Okay, you can levitate, but are you truly happy? Are you truly feeling this inner joy, this inner bliss, this inner peace that highly evolved spiritual beings can feel? Now we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. We want to just give you some more examples. There's also the celebrity world, right?
The celebrity world, yes. So you have celebrities like Jennifer Lopez, you have Kim Kardashian, you have loads of other celebrities that talk about positive thinking. They talk about, oh, I'm so grateful for my ability to sing, my ability to act, my talents, my house, my car, my boyfriend, my girlfriend.
I practice gratitude.
And I practice gratitude every morning and every day, and I'm so grateful for this and grateful for that. And then people look up to that, like normal ordinary fans who would look up to that and say, Jayla's my inspiration, Ariana Grande is my inspiration.
They're not just singers, but they also talk about positivity and love and light. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good that these celebrities talk a little bit about that. But again, what we're saying is it goes way deeper than that. Is there anybody else, any other examples you want to give of people?
Yeah, like you have people that pose next to pictures that say good vibes only, and you see them on Facebook and you're like, that guy's spiritual, that girl's spiritual, oh, they're like-minded, I want to talk to them because
they talk about vibes and vibration and energy. Oh, so they must be spiritual. Again, there are hundreds of layers of spirituality. And a true spiritual being, if you want to find your guru, your master, and you want to follow that spiritual path and you just need some guidance, then these are what true spiritual masters are like. So what are their qualities?
So number one, they have absolutely no ego, guys. What it is they are not there to show their powers to the world.
They have the powers, but they're not there to show it, because what's the point? What's that going to do?
They don't want all the attention and focus on them. They don't want people running up to them and calling them their guru. They don't actually want them to worship them like they're God, like they're this supernatural, amazing, godlike, untouchable being.
Because they know that there is something higher than them working through them.
Exactly.
And so they're egoless. They're not saying, I am, and I do this, and I do that, and I have all these disciples, and I have all these followers. They have no desire for that.
They've completely surrendered to the divine, and And they always say, it's the divine, it's God that's working through me, that's showing this. I'm not doing anything. I am nothing. They say, I am nothing. They say, I am the servant of servants. They are extremely humble.
Yeah.
Very humble, truly humble. Like, they will sleep on dirt. They will eat mud. They don't care about their taste, about their five senses. They're not here to please their five senses.
They're not attached to their physical body.
They're not attached to their physical body. So they don't care for praise. They don't care for recognition. They don't care for credibility, for status. None of that. That absolutely is, in fact, an insult to them. They want true humbleness, truly egoless, and they completely surrender to the divine.
And when Kashmir said they would eat mud, we don't say that they do eat mud. What Kashmir is trying to illustrate is that because they're not dependent on their five senses, they will eat the simplest of food, whatever's available, and they can actually fast for an entire day or 2 days without food as well.
They're not gluttonous.
They're not dependent on that food, and they're not dependent on things outside of them.
Like material things to please them or to comfort them. They're not interested in that. They're completely detached from their physical body.
Yeah.
They want so much peace and bliss.
Yeah, and now we know of our old guru who passed away, and he had, and there are countless number of witnesses of people who'd observed this and stories about our guru that demonstrated his yogic powers. And he didn't do these yogic powers for entertainment or to say, look what I can do. Because again, he didn't want to be worshipped like that, as if I'm the one who's doing this, because he was always constantly in surrender to the divine.
Yeah.
What he could do was, he could now, you may believe this or not, okay, but there are so many witnesses, so it just cannot be untrue. He was in 2 or more places at once when it was necessary. So that's the only time he would show his yogic powers, is when it was necessary for a particular reason. He was also able to heal a person from not even being with the person. Just by that intention, he was able to heal someone. And you could say, well, why didn't he heal the world? Well, he only heals those souls who are asking and who are completely surrendered to God. Yeah. It's when their soul is ready for it, when their soul is evolved to a certain stage, that they're ready for this.
Yeah.
So he was able to do that. The other things that he could do, and him as well as others who are in his level or
his
above,
apprentices,
could, just by looking at someone, make them go into samadhi. Samadhi is when your soul leaves your physical body and you experience bliss and peace.
You're in
and
a trance-like
joy.
state.
Yeah, you're completely separate from your body. He could do that. He could do so many
miracles.
So-called miracles.
Yeah.
But he never showed any of them, and he only showed them when it was absolutely necessary.
For someone's soul evolution.
These are what spiritual masters are like. In fact, there have been spiritual giants walking on this earth in the past.
They have graced this earth and they have blessed this entire planet.
And these spiritual giants could do anything with a click of their fingers. And again, they were not there to demonstrate their powers. They could turn sinners into
saints.
And there's also a story about a sinner. And when we mean sinners, we mean people who've just done very bad things, like killed people, murder.
So this was a murderer, killed women and children.
Yeah, and he was like a demon. He was a nasty, nasty piece of work.
Demonic, yeah.
Demonic, yes. And he killed hundreds of people. And what a spiritual, highly evolved spiritual giant. We like to call them spiritual giants because that's what they are. They're just so grand. They illuminate the entire planet. That's how grand they are. They were able to turn this sinner into a saint just instantaneously, and he literally became saint-like, and he would not be able to kill a soul. And so this seems impossible. How can you turn someone's who's a serial killer
into a saint, decades into a saint instantaneously? How can you flip somebody's heart, completely change their entire beingness into a saint? The poison turned into nectar. The sword turned into rosary beads, right? The aggression turned into prayer. So this is what I'm saying. It was so illuminating and so enlightening.
And this is just one example of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples of the power that these spiritual giants have. And that is true spirituality. And we want to share one more thing. Modern day spirituality.
Oh yes, how it is modern day now, in the current time.
So there's 2 people we've identified, and I'm sure there's others, but 2 people that are alive right now, Eckhart Tolle, or Eckhart Tolle, however you want to pronounce his surname, and Michael Singer, I found that these two seem to be the most spiritual
at a high level,
yep. Because they're not attached to worldly things. They have worldly things, but they're not attached to them.
They've learned to detach from their body, guys.
They're always in the present moment. And they're different personalities, Eckhart Tolle and Michael Singer. But I'll give you an example. With Eckhart Tolle, in The Power of Now, what he wrote was that when you get to a high level of consciousness, a high level of spirituality, what happens is that you are beyond duality of emotions.
Of human emotions.
Let me say this again. You're beyond duality of human emotions, meaning that you will not feel bliss at one point and then dip down to feeling anger or fear or sad or depressed. You won't feel excited and passionate and up there, and then suddenly dip low.
Right.
What happens with most of us, that we have ups and downs in life, don't we?
Ups and downs, right?
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like you've seen in other videos, it's good to embrace all our emotions. Yeah. But as you move up this spiritual pathway and you become more
truly like a core, you're really connecting to your soul now. Like you are literally amalgamating to your core nature. That is when you experience neutrality. You're above emotion. It's just peace. It's tranquil.
So that's the level of enlightenment, is that you are just a constant feeling of peace. Nothing external is affecting anything internally. So with Michael Singer, what I've noticed about him is that his path was constantly let go, let go, let go, let go. So he's constantly letting go of everything that was happening to him, everything unpleasant and everything really exciting as well. You're letting go of those exciting emotions too, because that could also be trapped emotions in your body. And as he did this, his soul became more and more evolved. And now I've noticed that whether he's been interviewed by Oprah Winfrey or Tony Robbins, or he's on a stage and speaking to people, or he's doing a little YouTube video, he's not that present on social media. You'll have to come search for his videos. But every time he's being interviewed, he will wear the same clothes. And he's a billionaire. He's a CEO of a billion-dollar company. And yet he lives a simple life. He still lives in the same wooden house built in the forest where he first started his spiritual journey. And he didn't have a desire to
upgrade his life into luxury,
into more, or having this, or having a yacht, or having this. And we're not saying again that any of this is wrong, but what the wonderful thing is that because he's feeling this peace inside of him, he just doesn't need anything else.
You realize
if it comes along, it's fine. It's great. Enjoy it.
He has a level of detachment towards
He's not dependent on it because he's already feeling it.
Yes.
And it's the same with Eckhart Tolle. He's just in this level of
bliss-like state, level of peace.
And he speaks with this calmness, and his presence and the way he talks is just constant. He doesn't go up and down.
Yeah.
He doesn't get overly excited about things. And that's another thing about the highly evolved spiritual beings, is that they don't get overly excited. Yes. Excited sounds like a good emotion, right? And even
enthusiasm, passion.
Or passion, you know, when all these
motivational gurus, you know, these motivational speakers, I'm not even going to call them gurus, actually just motivational speakers like Eric Thomas and Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk. They're all like, come on, passion equals power, and you got to go after your dreams, you got to hustle, you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to get a lot of energy going. But that's not really truly spiritual. That's kind of getting you to a certain level. That's it. You kind of hit a plateau, and then you're still going to go dipping. You're still going to dip. So people like Eckhart Tolle, Michael Singer, and these highly evolved beings, they literally do operate from the all is well vibration. You've heard Abraham Hicks say all is well. Well, they are really feeling it, because all is well. They are not affected by the external conditions. They see everything as one universal play of consciousness, and they constantly have this inner laugh. They just see everything as amusing. They don't see things as good or bad, right or wrong. Do you understand? It's just all is well, because they can see that high level of consciousness. They have that deep level of consciousness that they know truly that all is well. All is one. We are all connected. We are all from source energy.
So now you know the difference between someone who says, I'm so spiritual, to someone who's really a highly evolved spiritual being.
It's truly being it.
And if you want to follow this spiritual pathway, then it's really important to find the right guru that's going to take you there. If you don't want to follow the spiritual pathway, that's fine. You can listen to other people, and it's actually fine to listen to everyone. They're all stepping stones to get to where you want to go. So when you decide that actually I want to take that spiritual pathway,
Right.
then finding a spiritual guru is actually quite beneficial, because it just opens the doors to your pathway and where you want to go. And sometimes people say, well, I don't need guidance, I just need myself. But actually, it's okay to surrender to someone who's that highly evolved, and actually look at them in awe, and look at them as inspiration. And if they've done it and they've got to that stage, then why not be open to seeing what they have to say? One more thing that I wanted to say was that when you take the spiritual path, you will naturally give up certain things in your life that are not good for you. You won't do it for health, you won't do it for religious reasons, you won't do it because somebody else has told you to do it. Your soul will naturally want to give it up.
Yes.
So it could be things like, for example, this might be a bit controversial for some, but meat or animals, because if you truly, animals.
Yeah, because if you truly understand that everything in the universe is vibration and everything is energy, then you understand, you'll be very conscious and aware of the energy exchange you have between other human beings, between animals. You will understand that the highest form of non-violence is in fact being peaceful with the world. Like, you will just not have the desire to want to eat something that has been killed, for example. You just won't. There would be no violent energy active in your vibrational field. You would be as close to as nature intended. And when you really are truly closely connected to your soul, you will naturally do highly evolved, righteous things that serve your soul to the highest good.
And so we're not saying that eating meat or a fish or animals or animal products is bad for you. We're not even saying that. All we're just saying is that when you become more spiritually evolved, that your soul will know what to do.
Yeah,
your soul will just know, and you'll just give up certain things without even
consciously.
You're not intellectually deciding it.
Yeah, it's not because someone told you. It's not because it's for health reasons, or that's like the most shallowest surface level reasons you can give up meat for. If you're just going to do it for health reasons, fine. You're 100% attached to your body. You're not ready for soul evolution. You just want to be healthy for a bit. You'll go back to eating meat, and that's fine. It was just for that purpose. But when you are truly aligning, when you're truly on the path of spiritual enlightenment, you will naturally give up things that do not serve your soul. Your soul will be yearning for true evolution, and you will do things that are close to as nature intended naturally.
So this all boils down to, who do you listen to? You listen to people who have what you want and have been where you are, especially if you want to take that spiritual path. Those spiritual beings that are close to enlightenment or have achieved enlightenment, and those are the gurus, whether they're alive or dead. We are blessed with so many books and information out there that you can access, even people who passed away that have spiritual teachings that you can listen to and you can absorb, and then you can take your own pathway, your own spiritual growth. So
I hope that was a cute little inspiration for you. Remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button so this YouTube channel reaches more people, and we shall see you on the next one.
bye for now.